Uh, Very good morning, guys. Welcome to this yet another session of air standard cycle. In this session today, we are going to discuss about Otto cycle and how does it works, and the efficiency calculation of Otto cycle. And next video, we are going to see how an Otto cycle engine problem could able to solve. Let's jump into that explanation part directly. Otto cycle. Otto cycle is popularly used in spark ignition engines. Everyone knows spark ignition engine is nothing but the commonly known petrol engine of IC, internal combustion engine. The cycle, thermodynamic cycle followed in the spark ignition engine is Otto cycle. It is also called as constant volume heat addition cycle. When you see the working of Otto cycle, I will explain through the PV and TS diagram. As usual, there are 4 processes occurs in the Otto cycle as well. The 4 processes are compression, heat addition, expansion, and heat rejection. In this, compression and expansion takes as isentropic process, that is reversible adiabatic process, whereas heat addition and heat rejection takes when the volume remains constant. Since heat is added into the system when volume remains constant, this cycle is also called as constant volume heat addition. During compression process, volume decreases from initial volume V1 to V2. Since volume decreases, the pressure increases, and from state 2 to 3, volume remains constant. During that time, heat is added into the system. Since heat added, temperature increases, and the temperature causes the pressure, high pressure. The high pressure suddenly pushes the piston backward direction. Because of that, volume again increases. When volume increases, by default the pressure decreases. Then the moment it reaches the top dead center, bottom dead center, the exhaust valve will open and the burnt gas leave out. That is, at constant volume, heat is rejected to the surrounding. These are the 4 processes occurs in the Otto cycle. And let us see how an Otto cycle efficiency calculated through this small presentation.
So you know that net work done during the cycle, that is what? Heat supplied minus heat rejected. So that you can say efficiency of the Otto cycle is equal to output upon input. That is, in general you can say the efficiency of any cycle. And what is the output during the cycle? That is the net work done. So I can say it is equal to W net upon heat supplied, that is your input. So QS is the heat supplied as an input, and W net, you know that QS minus QR. So I can put it over here, W net as QS minus QR upon QS as it is. So further simplification, so QS upon QS minus QR upon QS, and so that it will be 1 minus QR upon QS. Let's say it is equation number 1. So if I want to find the efficiency of the Otto cycle, I have to find the QR and QS. So you know that during the process 2-3, heat supplied is QS, and so that I can say QS is equal to mCp delta T. But here m is as it is, m is the mass of the air. Generally it is taken as 1 kg, and Cv is the specific heat at constant volume. Because of this 2-3 process is a constant volume process, and so that it will be specific heat at constant volume, and that is generally taken as 0.718 kilojoule per kg Kelvin. And this is the delta T, that means the temperature difference during the process 2-3. So you can see over here, this is T3 minus T2. Similarly, during the process 4-1, QR is the heat rejected. So that I can say QR is equal to once again mc delta T, and m is the mass of the air, and C, that means the specific heat during the constant volume, and that's why it is Cv, and delta T, that is the temperature difference. So that you can see from this figure T4 minus T1. So it is very simple to identify QS and QR from the diagram. So once you got that QR and QS, then you can start the efficiency of the Otto cycle from the equation number 1. So efficiency of Otto cycle is equal to 1 minus QR, and that is MCV T4 minus T1 upon QS, that is MCV T3 minus T2. So here MC will be cancelled. So it is 1 minus T4 minus T1 upon T3 minus T2. Let's say it is equation number 2. So now we will consider the adiabatic process 1, 2 and 3, 4, and from that we will derive the relation between the temperatures, and so that you can simplify this term in the efficiency of Otto cycle. So from the figure you can say 1, 2 process is the compression process, and that is the adiabatic compression. So you can say the compression ratio, that is V1 by V2. And simply you can remember V1 by V2 because of your compression ratio that is always greater than 1, and you can see over here V1 is greater than V2. Let's say it is equation number 3. Similarly, for the process 3, 4 is also adiabatic expansion, and so that I can say the expansion ratio is equal to V4 by V3. Once again your expansion ratio is also greater than 1, so you can see from the figure V4 is greater than V3, and that's why it should be V4 by V3. Let's say it is equation number 4. But from the figure you can see V1 is equal to V4 and V2 is equal to V3. So here if you say V1 is equal to V4 and V2 is equal to V3, so from equation number 3 and 4 I can say compression ratio is equal to expansion ratio. So in general I can say it is R. Generally it is known as the compression ratio, and so that I can say compression ratio R is equal to V1 by V2 is equal to V4 by V3. Let's say it is equation number 5. Now next page. As you know that process 1, 2 is the adiabatic process, and so that you can say Tv raised to gamma minus 1 is equal to constant. So this is the important characteristic for the adiabatic process. So I can say for the process 1, 2, I can say T1 V1 raised to gamma minus 1 is equal to T2 V2 raised to gamma minus 1. So I can say V1 by V2 whole raised to gamma minus 1 is equal to T2 upon T1. And as you know that V1 by V2, that is the compression ratio R. So I can say over here R raised to gamma minus 1 is equal to T2 by T1. Let's say it is equation number 6. Similarly, 3, 4 is also adiabatic process. So once again I can use the same relation Tv raised to gamma minus 1 is equal to constant for process 3, 4. So I can say T3 V3 raised to gamma minus 1 is equal to T4 V4 raised to gamma minus 1. And you know that over here V4 by V3 is the compression ratio. So I can simplify over here, and V4 by V3 is R compression ratio. So I can put it over here. R raised to gamma minus 1 is equal to T3 by T4. And let's say it is equation number 7. So now here you observe equation number 6 and equation number 7. R raised to gamma minus 1, and over here it is also R raised to gamma minus 1. And so that I can say T2 by T1 is equal to T3 by T4. So from equation number 6 and 7, I can say T2 upon T1 is equal to T3 by T4. So I rearrange the term. So now mathematically I can write by using rationalization T4 minus T1 upon T1 is equal to T3 minus T2 upon T2. So further simplification, I can say T4 minus T1 upon T3 minus T2 is equal to T1 upon T2. So now observe carefully the equation number 2. the T4 minus T1 upon T3 minus T2, that is exactly over here. So instead of that I can write T1 upon T2 in this equation. So now I can say from equation number 2, the efficiency of Otto cycle is equal to 1 minus, and that is equal to T1 upon T2. Now from the equation number 6, T2 upon T1 is equal to R raised to gamma minus 1. So I can find T1 upon T2, and that is the reciprocal of this one. So 1 minus the reciprocal of this one, that is 1 upon R raised to gamma minus 1. And let's say it is the equation number 8, and that is the efficiency of the Otto cycle. And look at carefully the equation number 8, that the efficiency of Otto cycle is only depend on the two parameter, compression ratio and adiabatic index. And you know that adiabatic index for the air standard cycle is always 1.4. So you can say as compression ratio increase, then this term will increase, and so that the whole term will decrease, and so that your efficiency will increase. So I can say as compression ratio increases, your efficiency increases, and so that you.
And you got some idea about how the efficiency of Otto cycle has derived from these small clips.
So
and now let us see the relationship between compression ratio and Otto cycle efficiency. When compression ratio increases, and the efficiency of Otto cycle is also increases, and this value will also depend upon the polytropic index. When the index is very less, it will be lower efficiency. When index is increases gradually, same way the efficiency will also increases with respect to the increase in the polytropic index. And we also know that when the value of polytropic index is equal to 1.4, then we call that as isentropic index gamma. And next term which is used to calculate are going to derive from the Otto cycle thermodynamic Otto cycle diagram, or particularly the PV and TS diagram, is the MEP, that is nothing but mean effective pressure. Mean effective pressure is defined simply as the ratio between the net work done on the piston divided by divided by the piston displacement volume, or the swept volume. The swept volume is defined as the volume swept by the piston when it travels between top dead center and bottom dead center. In this case, it is between V1 and V2. So that the quantity has unit of pressure, and the relationship is shown as W net divided by V1 minus V2, whereas we know W net is equal to heat supplied inside Q in minus Q out divided by swept volume Vs, or V1 minus V2. This is the basic term which is used in the Otto cycle thermodynamic processes. Thank you. Let's close this session with this point, and in next video we will see how we will take one simple problem and apply whatever we have seen, and try to find the solution. Till then, cheers, bye.